My name is Robin Combs. I'm a 56-year-old man now. When I was 22 years old, I was involved in a crime where somebody got killed. I was sentenced to 50 years, of which I had to do 2/3 of that time. So I did 32 and a half years, and Washington has recently started a new reentry model called graduated reentry. I was the first person in the state of Washington with my time structure to get that program for a reason. I didn't choose Kate's house. That was a decision that was made by the Department of Corrections. One of the things I was really pleased to discover when I got to Kate's house that I manage now was it was a nice house. It wasn't, in a really crappy neighborhood. It wasn't a beat up, rundown home. And so I was just really fortunate that I got to be a part of that. And as I came to understand Kate's House Foundation and Frank and Sherry's vision, I've embraced that because I agree with that. I made a lot of stupid decisions when I was a young man that weren't the byproduct of drugs or alcohol. With me, my drug of choice was violence. And like most drug use, it escalates. You need more and more for your fix. But it doesn't really matter what the addiction is. Addictions are addictions, and they all have the same pattern of behavior. I was apprehensive coming out of prison after such a long period of time. But I knew it came down to my choices. No matter how bad life got, no matter what happened, I knew the path I couldn't go down. So let me seek the path that I needed to go down. Frank came over a few times during my stay at the house, and we would just talk. And he got to know my backstory a bit and decided, you know what, there's some benefit there that perhaps, some other men can learn from. We had another guy named Johnny, who was a house manager for a while. And then when he moved on, they asked me if I would be willing to mentor the other men in the house. And I said, absolutely. That's how that came about. It was a pretty quick process, though. You kind of learn the house rules, or at least I did, just from the guys who came before. But today we had the house managers meeting so that we could all be on the same page in how we're going to approach saving people's lives. Because believe it or not, this is about saving people's lives. If you want to be successful in your transition, and it doesn't matter what you're transitioning from, you need to have a place where you can lay your head, that you feel safe. You know what I mean? You kind of feel like you're home. And that is the great thing about these houses is they become your home. The guys that are in the house with you kind of become your family. And like real families, some of them you like, some of them you really don't much care for. But you learn to respect them for what they have and the gifts that they have. And yeah, I absolutely would recommend Frank and Sherry and Kate's House Foundation just because, it provided me the ability to figure out what it exactly was I wanted to do. And so recently, I earned a Class A CDL so I can drive truck. And now that's what I do, I drive truck for a living. And I would not have been able to do that had I not lived in a place where I felt loved and supported and encouraged. For them, for Frank and Sherry, this really is a mission to save people's lives. It's really hard not to be encouraged by that and not want to be a part of that.